Okay, this is my first stream on Twitch, and I hope that it's streaming. Looks like it might be. Okay, so the plan, guys, is to fly the Pilatus PC-12. See if I can get you a picture of it here. There we go. So this Pilatus PC-12 from Atlanta to Florida to 75 Florida, which is a airfield that I've never been to before. But one thing I like about the Pilatus is, even though it's a good size aircraft, it can carry up to 10, 11 passengers. I can still get it in and out of most fields, especially with the reverse thrusters that kick in. So I can really do some short field landings. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm not sure how to check my chats to see if anybody is joined, but we'll see. Okay, so let's get it cranked up. Everything is off. So we got batteries, fuel pumps are on, strobes off, and looks like we're ready for start. My condition level is at cutoff. It's where I want it. And so let's get started here. Make sure we don't get a hot start. When my NG get above 50, then I got a good start, and I got a good start. So I'm gonna push my to flight idle and then bring it back to ground idle. Gen 1, battery 2, Gen 2, avionics are on, taxi light is on, fuel pumps on auto, stay on auto, emission separator comes on, no smoking, and seatbelt signs are on. All right. We are looking good. All right, let's change that FOV. All right, so field of view looks good here. Look out the left window and the right window. Looks good. And okay, trying to train my fingers so I know what stuff at. Okay, so our flight today is 219 nautical miles, but the route that I'm gonna take is makes it 223 nautical miles, and I am flying VFR. Our final cruising altitude is going to be either 12.5 or 14.5. For 200 nautical miles, might as well do 14.5. Okay, and let's take a look at our flight plan, make sure that it's in. Wrong button, there we go. Okay, so our first waypoint is 69 miles, and then another 40 miles later. And check this out, guys. Our MIA waypoint is not correct, so we need to fix that. It's actually Mike Alpha India rather than Mike India Alpha. So let's fix that. Mike Alpha India. And let's clear this one. And that adjusted perfect. Looking good. All right. So I'm glad we caught that while we're on the ground rather than in the air. Okay. So let's get our ATIS. And I've already got things tuned.
Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, information, Victor.
Victor.
1500 Zulu weather. Wind calm.
Wind calm.
Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 19,000 scattered, 34,000 scattered. Temperature 12. Dew point -15. Altimeter 2992.
2992.
Arriving runways 08 left.
Standard.
09 right. 10. Departing runways 08 left. 08 right. 09 left. Advise on initial contact. You have Victor.
So let's assume that ATC is going to give us 08. Let's see, 08 right. I think it's going to be.
Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, information, Victor. 1500 Zulu weather.
08 left.
Visibility more than 10.
Even though 08 right is actually a little bit longer, but this aircraft is can handle the shorter runway.
Arriving runways 08 left, 09 right, 1.
All right, so we're going to initially climb out to 9,500, and then we're going to climb up to another 35. Now, I see traffic global is actually, yeah, everything looks good. Okay. And the traffic that you see in the foreground is from traffic global. Okay, so let's take our brakes off and start our taxi. We've been cleared the taxi, runway 8 left via Alpha to hotel. Just check our steering right quick, tap our brakes, make sure that they're working, and they are. Go ahead and do soft ride, check our yaw damper, initial separator, which it is on. Okay. are going to follow the yellow brick road as soon as we find it. Okay. Looks like I'm clear on the right at the moment. And shoot. Yeah, my fingers won't cooperate. I guess I'm out here now, so yep, I am out here, so I didn't get hit. At least I don't think I got hit. Because sometimes this traffic would not stop for me. Okay, I need to check my lights. So let me go up here, and I do have on my taxi lights. Strobes are off. Yep. Okay. Taxiing at about 10 knots, and we are speeding up, but that's okay. Now we are close to 20 knots, so I'm gonna reduce my condition, my ground idle. This aircraft right here does not have. I've got reverse thrusters at 4, but I don't have a beta mode so that I can feather the props for a slower taxi. This is a FSEconomy flight, so let me go ahead and stop, log in to FSEconomy, and start the flight. So I just took on my passengers, and I got, I think, 120 gallons of fuel, or maybe 105 gallons, somewhere thereabout, which I do believe is enough for 200 nautical miles. Now, this first whole short line is an IMC hold short, and this is a clear VFR a day, so don't have any issues with that. And let me just jump over to OSB, see if I picked up a guess, and not yet. It's probably gotten too late for that, but that's okay. Atlanta Tower, Pilatus 9875, holding short, runway 8 left, ready to depart, would be depart to the south. Clear for takeoff, runway 8 left to Pilatus 9875, November. Clear right, and clear left. Good. transponder lights. Shot a little bit, so let's swing her back around. Lights. I don't need nav lights. Okay. And looking good so far. And let's go. Now, I always have trouble controlling X-plane aircraft while I'm on the ground. So if you find me all over the tarmac, I mean the runway, then it is what it is. Okay, so I'll take off brief. Gonna rotate at 85, tap our brakes and lift that gear. So we got 85, brakes, gear up. Power back just a touch. At least 1,000 feet AGL. Flaps up. Yaw damper comes on. Initial self comes off. Fuel pumps go to auto. And let's lower our nose. Lower our climb rate. And look, Mom, no hands. Okay. Gear is up. And everything looks good. Let's clear this turn here. Okay. So as soon as we get out of the Bravo, in fact, as soon as we get out of the Bravo, we'll go ahead on and change our altitude to 14.5. Right now, we're going to, until we get out of the Bravo, we're going to stay up under 10. The Bravo South for Atlanta extends out to 30 miles. Unreal. Just now noticing that. In fact, looks like almost the entire Atlanta Bravo extends 30 miles. Okay, ATC just approved us for, well, we can always pretend, but we can go a little bit faster. Capturing our initial altitude. So we're out of our climb. We should pick up. Yaw damper is on, check. And I'm doing everything with mental checklists today. Let's see what our outside air temp is. It's 24.8 degrees. So it's not too bad. It's definitely cold weather at 9,000 feet in the deep south. At 9,500 feet to be more exact. So, I wonder if, let me check my map. I see if VACSIM has got a controller in this area. You know, they actually do. I can't get the frequency unless I sign on. Hey, what's going on, Dimitri Lee? This is my first flight, so I'm actually trying it. My first flight on Twitch anyway. And I didn't see, I have to figure out how to be able to see my chat even when I'm not in the main screen. So I guess, let's see, I don't know if this screen works. Let me click on something and see. When I'm here, I can't see, nothing is clickable when I can look at the chat. Are you still there? I guess when I didn't respond, he realized that I couldn't see him. But anyway, I have to figure that out. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting close to the border of the Bravo. Dimitri Lee. That is a cool name. All right. So let's see what we got in the way of checklist here. Okay, after takeoff, gear is up, yaw damper is on, taxi lights, landing lights are off, flaps are up, climb power is set. Well, I generally climb out wherever I want, and the cabin is pressurized. Let's make sure. Environmental control is on auto, I believe. Yep, that's okay. That's off. That's auto, and that's manual. So let's keep it on auto. All right, and we are not going to transition today. Okay, so it looks like we are in cruise. We're leaving the Bravo now. This green line represents the edge of the of Atlanta's Class B space, colloquially called the Bravo. Okay, my wings are outside of it, and now so is my tail. All right. So let's lift our self-imposed altitude restriction. And let's climb on up to our cruise altitude of 14.5 because we're going westerly. And I wonder if this chat can be what did I just do with it? My golly. Tried to see if I could move my chat to a different screen, and lo and behold, I lost it altogether. Let's see. And I do not know where to find it. And what makes streaming fun is the interaction. So how do I get it back? If I can minimize this screen, then maybe it will come back. I think it may be up under something. not up under anything. By golly, I have lost my chat. Let's see, scene collection. Let's see, tools. And I'm in OBS. It's dock, reset UI. Reset UI will hide additional docs, and you will need to unhide those docs. Okay, so I just did that. Now I need to unhide the docs. Okay, chat. Okay, got it back. And then view docs, string information. Got that back. Okay. Live and learn. It's my lesson for today. I'm at 13.2. And looks like I still got quite a ways to go. So I just heard my tone let me know I've got 500 feet until I capture, 1,000 feet till I capture my altitude. And I get a tone again at 200 feet. Oh, I'm not going to capture the altitude because it's not armed. Okay, I just armed it, and hopefully I armed it in time. Yep, I did. Okay, so now I capture the 14.5. I have blown through altitudes by either arming it and it disarms or not arming it. Sometimes I'm not sure what the case may be, but it's a good thing I caught that. Okay, so let's look at our engine stats. Generator looked good, 28 volts on both Gen 1 and 2. And I am pulling a lot more amps on generator 1 than I am on generator 2. I don't know what's drawing so much power. Could be environmental controls. And let me check my mic. Yeah, my mic levels look good. Mic check, yep, okay. I'll make sure that if anybody's in the chat, they can hear me. Okay, so I am getting into IMC conditions. I don't have any mountains to contend with, so I'm actually gonna dip up under these clouds. And probably get an overspeed alarm if I don't pull my power back. And one thing I don't like about this aircraft is that I think it's rated for a cruise of around 250 or so, but it was modeled so that when I get above 240 or 236, I believe, I get an overspeed warning. And I wish I could adjust what is overspeed. So I just approached another waypoint and the aircraft is turning. Actually, that's my first waypoint from Atlanta. So that's my first 69 miles behind me. I've got 153 nautical miles to go to finish up this flight. And according to ForeFlight, my final destination is 33 minutes away. Look at that. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to look out the window. You know, I'm one of those pilots who I spend most of my time looking out of the front window and the dash. A lot of guys spend a lot of time on the outside of the aircraft. And I think the reason I don't spend a lot of time out of the aircraft, viewing the aircraft, is because that's something that I can't do in real life. But the Pilatus PC-12, it really is a beautiful aircraft. I like the tall T-tail empennage or elevators. I like the winglets, and this big long nose to accommodate all that turbo engine. It's pretty cool. Okay, so what river is that we got down there? Let's see if I can't find it on the aeronautical chart. With the highway, I got highway 431 on this side. Let's see if I see it. Yeah, there it is. So directly below me is highway 431, and let's see, I have already crossed into Alabama. Hard to read where the state line is at on this chart. So much information on it. And this is what I'm using. My ForeFlight, my aeronautical chart. Okay, so Alabama, Georgia, and maybe, maybe that's not a state line after all. My next waypoint is Eufaula, 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 and there is a big lake, Walter George Reservoir, near that. Let's see if we can't see it from here. So this river is gonna feed Walter George Reservoir. So now I should be able to find the river, and while I see it, I don't see the name of it, but it looks like a significant river, so it ought to be named. There's a small lake over off my wing. Yeah, there it is, right there. That's actually showing up on the map. Some of these little smaller lakes are showing up, and as I get closer to the reservoir, then the waterway is getting larger. So I'm back down to 9,500, and I think I'm gonna keep my cruise set there because of the low clouds. I got some clouds in front of me. Let's see if we can't find out where the bases are. So I need a weather station that I can tune to. So what airport is near me? So I can check the Lawson Adas. I'm already past Lawson, but wouldn't hurt to check it anyway. And this is where the river started to turn into a lake. Okay, the Lawson. Let's see, maybe I can find an airport en route, one that's going in front of me. Okay, I got an ASOS that I can check. That's 128, 325. And let's see if that one is live. Nope. And I am really close to it. I'm only 7 miles from the airport. So I shouldn't even be able to see it down here because I am going to fly right over it. Hope I'm low enough to stay up under these clouds. Doesn't look like it from here. Let's see if there's another airport that has okay, so I can check Dothan Regional. May be too far from it, but let's try it. 135.72. Yeah, I suspect I'm too far from it at the moment, but I keep it tuned. can fly under or over these clouds. And since I like water, I think I am gonna do under. I'm showing some rain on ForeFlight. Let's see if I can pick it up on this guy. Okay, so right, so range is something. Don't know how to. Or maybe it's just not picking up anything. I've seen it come alive before. Oh, it's on. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm descending. I better look out the window. Clouds are lower than I thought. And there is my overspeed alarm that I mentioned earlier. These clouds are a lot lower than I thought. And I do have some weather moving in towards my path. So we might pick up some rain. I am not flying IFR, so technically I shouldn't be flying through clouds. But since I am, all right, so let's look at our outside air temp. We're at 3 degrees, and it's Celsius, so that ought to give us so they ought to be warm enough that we don't have to worry about icing, at least not at this altitude. And I'm hoping I find the bases of them pretty soon. I don't want to get down any lower than 3,500. At least not at this speed. At 3,500 and below, there is a lot more GA traffic about flying at about 100 knots, and I don't want to fly somebody at over 200 knots. So I got traffic global so I can actually turn that on, and I don't see any traffic in my front view. Usually the traffic tend to show up through the clouds. Yeah, actually, I don't think it's gonna show up through the clouds because I just saw it duck behind some and disappear. Okay, so I'm at 37, so I am gonna slow down. And if I'd have known the clouds were this low, I would have opted to fly over them. But when we looked out at them, they didn't look like they was this thick. And I am going to punch through them because it looks like the bases is going all the way to the ground. So to decide to go above them was not the best idea. And since I'm headed towards weather, I don't foresee coming out of them for quite some time. So let's try and punch through them. It looked like the tops were probably at about 12, 13. The problem is the tops could be way above what I'm expecting by now. But since we're in the soup, let's go ahead and put on our inertia separators. So these red writing that you can see out there, that's actually other traffic that Traffic Global is generating, and I can cycle through that and turn it off and on. But if I leave it on, then I can see that there's a Southwest airline that's 85 nautical miles away from me, and it's on a heading of 168, flying at a flight level of 27,000 feet, 270, and it's traveling at 462 knots. So, I can really get some good information. I wish that I could tell Traffic Global only show me traffic that was within, say, 25 or 30 miles of me. I got someone here, and they're 73 miles away, so they're no factor. But a lot of traffic that I do see is no factor. And it would be more useful for me to be able to focus on traffic that is a factor, because when I see the traffic that is no factor and so much of it, then I start paying attention to it. Oh, got an itch on my back. I start paying attention to it, and if traffic is close, then I'm not going to really focus on it because I've trained myself not to pay attention to it. Okay, so I'm at 10,000, climbing at 150 knots, and my torque is 39. I actually should be torquing at 36 point something at 150, 36, let's see what the 36.9 at 150, and that's in a climb, and I'm actually in a climb. Okay, I think I see a hole. At least I saw a hole. So, in 1,000 feet or so, 15 to 2,000 feet, I should be breaking out in these clouds. I used a lot more gas than I had planned to with these maneuvers, with flying to the ground and then having to resume a climb. And I didn't budget for those maneuvers. So as you can see, my fuel quantity has gotten pretty low. And I moved off. Oh man, since we left Atlanta, some bad weather has moved in. And let's just check what I got my weather set on. It's acting as if it's set on real world weather, but it's not. I got a weather injection system that's seen to inject real world weather, whether I want to or not. So I'm gonna start it up and go ahead and inject real world weather. I've got FS Global Real Weather. The X-Plane version. Okay, looks like I'm seeing some clear sky. Weather download is complete. And I've transitioned, so I'm too high. So let's come back down to, I'm going west, so let's come down to 16.5. And I'm gonna set this to capture it for me. Turbulence. And looks like with the real weather, I am certainly in the suit. Certainly in IMC. But I'm only 63 miles from my final destination. And I'm landing at a private airport, and the aeronautical chart does not show me what the runway looked like. So it could be a grassy strip, or it could be a concrete strip, but let's hope it's at least 2,500 feet long. I think I can stop in 2,500 feet. The biggest thing that I gotta hope is that it's not clouded in. And even though I tuned my ATIS, I never did get an ATIS for Columbia, and we are way past it now. Let me check my fuses. Make sure I don't have a pop. They look okay. They all look okay. I'm on back. All right. So we're getting there. We got 50 nautical miles to go. So it's a good time to start a descent. And looks like we're going to fly into the Tyndall MOA, military operations area. And it's okay to fly into a MOA if they are doing exercises that will affect aircraft, then generally they will stop until the aircraft pass. I'm gonna get down to 75. And looks like I'm gonna do okay on fuel. Okay, so I can't, the closest airport to the strip that I'm going to is Tyndall Air Force Base, and I can't get their ATIS because the military uses a higher frequency Let's see. So with that said, I am just gonna have to fly by the seat of my pants. But the airport is literally right near the Gulf of Mexico. It's right on the edge of a waterway, but the Gulf of Mexico is probably 10 or 15 miles from the strip. Okay, so I've crossed into the MOA. Let's see if it's depicted on the chart here in the deals. This green line now represents the military, the MOA. Must be getting tired. I can't think of the name of it. Military operations area. Okay, I got traffic 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, but it's not a factor. They at 35,000 feet, and I'm at 14, and they 36 miles away, so they're not a factor. And I am definitely in instrument flight rules right now, flying VFR. So, in real life, if I was taking a flight and found myself approaching a instrument flight route area, IMC conditions, then what would I do? Would I continue the flight and try to punch through the clouds like I'm doing now with this flight, provided that I'm VFR rated, or would I try to rise above the clouds? I fly up under them, and if I could not get en route weather, so I know pretty much what my bases are, or what the tops are, then I would divert. I would certainly divert, because flying in IMC conditions, if you're not rated for it, can be a killer. If for some reason you have to disengage your autopilot, then I know from just flying the sim that sometimes I can't tell which is up, which is down, especially when the aircraft start to bank. And from what I understand, you can't really go by the feel of the, you would think that if I'm in an aircraft, I could get a feel for whether it's banking, pitching down or pitching up, banking left or right, or rolling left or right, but it's just not worth dying over. Okay, so I'm 21 nautical miles out, and I still got 11,000 feet to get down, so I am going to increase my descent rate to 1,700 feet and per minute, pull back on my power, it down. Okay, so at this point, start preparing for arrival. So inertia selves are still on. Let's go ahead on and put on our landing lights. Get that out the way. Seat belts are still on. And let's turn our fuel pumps on. And these clouds are not showing up on my four-flight radar. Okay, so when I do color, let's say when I do color infrared satellite, I think I can see them. Yeah, I can. And I am gonna have clouds at my destination. They should be a little lighter than what I'm in right now. So that's some constellation. If I could land at the Air Force Base, but since this is the FSEconomy flight, if I landed at the Air Force Base, I wouldn't get paid. And you can see the destination showing up on my radar. 10 miles out, I'm still at 7,000 feet. So this is a good time to hand fly. But I can't hand fly because I'm in all these clouds. So let's use a heading bug and do some S turns. And let's turn our head bank off, increase our bank angle, our roll. And what I'm trying to do is get down before I get to this airport. And I could slow down, that would help. And I'm really wishing I get up under these clouds. At 3,500. I see rain. Okay, I see ground. So let's do an outhold here. And let's look for that airport. Okay, if I can get down another 200 or 300 feet, then that might be helpful. So let's get down to 1200. Twelve hundred. 1300 is fine. 1200 is what I asked for. And I have overshot the runway at the airport. And since this is a private field, I can't even do an ILS or a GPS approach. Okay, so let's turn around. That, so that, oh man, why am I climbing? I'm looking for 1200 and I'm ascending at 1200 feet a minute. So that was why. Okay. Okay, so I should have the Air Force Base off one. There's an Air Force Base off my left wing. I'm sorry, my right wing. I was absent today. They taught left and right. Okay, so let's turn around. Okay, so I got heading engaged. But the heading bug is not doing anything. And I want to hold. So why am I autopilot heading? Turn, baby. There we go. There we go. Overspeed too fast. Actually, should have slowed down for this turn anyway, because going slower, I can turn a tighter radius. And where's there it goes. Flight plan and reactivate this guy. And I don't know what the winds are, so if I had a good approach from the north, I would have landed from the north, but looks like, let's see, I didn't even see what the, okay, I thought I saw the orientation of the airport on this guy here, of the airstrip. So let's, yeah, so I can see the orientation on the GPS. So let's get over here a little bit. Let's fly. Let's turn say about 10 degrees to this way. And I'm turning off my autopilot. Gear down. And turn back to the right. Hopefully I'm lined up. Don't know. Don't want to fly too slow. Okay, I think I see my airport. And yep, that's it. I'm not sure which one is the runway. Gears down. Landing lights are on. Okay, the black strip is the runway. So I think we can do this. I'm glad I got a lot of runway. Those reverse thrusters are great. So that was one of those landings that could only be done in a sim. Okay, so I don't know what building this is. Let's assume that this is where we want to go. It looks as commercial as anything at this airfield. And we are there. Okay, brakes. Come on, brakes. log that into FSE, and it's quite interesting. Okay, so I want to go here, turn off our alerts. We are shut down. Generators are off. Avionics are off. Should have turned those off first. Battery 2 and battery 1. And let's put our chocks on. And I don't use chocks enough to even know what they are. I know A is autopilot. Window reflections, baggage doors, static elements. I think that was it. Okay, so let's look outside. Boy, just now, my wings just missing that building. Still no chalks though, and I know it was tied down when I started it. So view. And I don't know, but anyway, so that concludes this FSE economy flight, and we made it safely from VFR into IMC conditions and landed certainly in IMC conditions. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it.